of all symposiums by far upon atmosphere awaits us. We eat ambrosia and nectar in chairs that don't humiliate us. We know the fallacies of human food, so please to pass and appear rosy. We built up palaces where ruins stood, and find them much more snug and cosy.
To work and think, my dear, up here would be the height of conscientious folly. So eat and drink, my dear. I like to see young people gay, young people jolly. Olympian food, my love, I'll lay long odds, will please your lips, those rosy portals. What is the good, my love, of being gods, if we must work like common mortals?
Of all symposium best by half, upon atmosphere awaits us. We eat ambrosia and nectar in chairs that don't humiliate us. We know the fallacies of human food, so please to pass Olympian rosy. We built up palaces where ruins stood, and find them much more snug and cosy.
Bless their little hearts, I can refuse them nothing. As the Olympian stage manager, I ought to be strict with them and make them do their duty, but I can't. Bless their little hearts, when I see the pretty little craft come sailing up to me with a wheedling smile on their pretty little figureheads, I can't turn my back on them. I'm all bow, though I'm sure I try to be stern.
You certainly are a dear old thing.
She says I'm a dear old thing. Deputy Venus says I'm a dear old thing.
It's her affectionate habit to describe everybody in those terms. I am more particular. But still, even I am bound to admit that you certainly are a very dear old thing.
Deputy Venus says I'm a dear old thing, and Deputy Diana, who is much more particular, endorses it. Who can be severe with such deputy divinities?
Do you know, I'm going to ask you a favour.
Venus is going to ask me a favour.
You see, I am Venus.
No one who saw your face would doubt it.
No one who knew her character would. Well, Venus, you know, is married to Mars.
To Vulcan, my dear, to Vulcan. The exact connubial relation of the different gods and goddesses is a point on which we must be extremely particular.
I beg your pardon. Venus is married to Mars. If she isn't married to Mars, she ought to be.
Then that decides it. Call it married to Mars.
Married to Vulcan or married to Mars, what does it signify?
My dear, it's a matter on which I have no personal feelings whatever.
So that she is married to someone?
Exactly. So that she is married to someone. Call it married to Mars.
Now here's my difficulty. Timodon takes the place of Mars, and Timodon is my father.
Then why object to Vulcan?
Because Vulcan is my grandfather.
But my dear, what an objection! You are playing a part until the real gods return, that's all. Whether you're supposed to be married to your father or your grandfather, what does it matter? This passion for realism is the curse of the stage.
That's all very well, but I can't throw myself into a part that has already lasted a 12-month when I have to make love to my father. It interferes with my conception of the characters. It spoils the part.
Well, I'll see what can be done. It's always the way with beginners. They've no imaginative powers. A true artist ought to be superior to such considerations. Well, nice miss. I should say, Diana, what's wrong with you? Don't you like your part?
Oh, immensely. It's great fun.
Don't you find it lonely out by yourself all night?
Oh, but I'm not alone all night.
But I don't want to ask any injudicious questions, but who accompanies you?
Who? Why, Sparkian, of course.
Sparkian? Well, but Sparkian is Phoebus Apollo. He's the sun, you know.
Of course he is. I should catch my death of cold in the night air if he didn't accompany me.
My dear Sullivan, it would never do for a young lady to be out alone all night. It wouldn't be respectable.
There's a good deal of truth in that. But still, the sun at night. I don't like the idea. The original Diana always went out alone.
I hope the original Diana is no rule for me. After all, what does it matter?
To be sure, what does it matter?
The sun at night or in the daytime?
So that he shines. That's all that's necessary. But poor Daphne, what will she say to this?
Oh, Daphne can console herself. Young ladies soon get over this sort of thing. Did you never hear of the young lady who is engaged to Cousin Robin?
Never.
Then I'll sing it to you. Little maid of Arcady sat on Cousin Robin's knee, thought in face and form and limb nobody could rival him. He was brave and she was fair, true they made a pretty pair. Happy little maiden she, happy maid of Arcady. Happy little maiden she, happy maid of Arcady, happy maid of Arcady. Moments fled as moments will, happily enough, until after, say, a month or two, Robin did as Robins do, weary of his lover's play, jilted her and went away. Wretched little maiden she, wretched maid of Arcady, wretched maid of Arcady. To her little home she crept, there she sat her down and wept. Maiden wept as maidens will, grew so thin and pale until Cousin Richard came to woo, then again the roses grew. Happy little maiden she, happy maid of Arcady. Happy little maiden she, happy maid of Arcady, happy maid of Arcady.
Well, Mercury, me boy, you've had a year's experience of us here. How do we do it? I think we're rather an improvement on the original gods, don't you?
Well, you see, there's a good deal to be said on both sides of the question. You are certainly younger than the original gods, and therefore more active. On the other hand, they are certainly older than you, and have therefore more experience. On the whole, I prefer you, because your mistakes amuse me. Olympus is now in a terrible muddle. The deputy deities all are at fault. They splutter and splash like a pig in a puddle, and Dickens are one of 'em turning his salt. For Thespis as Jove is a terrible blunder. Too nervous and timid, too easy and weak. Whenever he's called on to lightning or thunder, the thought of it keeps him awake for a week. Then mighty Mars hasn't the pluck of a parrot. When left in the dark he will quiver and quail. and Vulcan has arms that would snap like a carrot before he could drive in a tuppenny nail. Then Venus's freckles are very repelling, and Venus should not have a squint in her eyes. The learned Minerva is weak in her spelling, and scatters her H's all over the skies. The Pluto, in kind-hearted tenderness erring, can't make up his mind to let anyone die. The Times has a paragraph ever recurring, remarkable instance of longevity. On some it has come at a serious onus. To others it's quite an advantage, in short. While every life office declares a big bonus, the poor undertakers are all in the court. Then Cupid, the rascal, forgetting his trade is to make men and women impartially smart, will only shoot arrows at pretty young ladies, and never takes aim at a bachelor's heart. The result of this freak, whatever you term it, should cover the wicked young scamp of disgrace. While every young man is as shy as a hermit, young ladies are popping all over the place. This wouldn't much matter for bashful and shy men, when skilfully handled are certain to fall. But alas, that determined young bachelor Hymen refuses to wed anybody at all. He swears that love's flame is the vilest of arsons, and looks upon marriage as quite a mistake. Now what in the world's to become of the parsons? And what of the artist who sugars the cake? In short, you will see from the facts that I'm showing, the state of the case is exceedingly sad. If Thespis' people go on as they're going, Olympus will certainly go to the bad. From Jupiter downwards there isn't a dab in it. All of them quibble and shuffle and shirk. A premier in Downing Street, forming his cabinet, couldn't find people less fit for their work.
Cinnamon, you can retire. Sir, I think... don't pretend you can't when I say you can. I've seen you do it. Go! Well, Mercury, I've been in power 1 year today.
1 year today? How'd you like ruling the world?
Like it? Why, it's as straightforward as possible. Why, there hasn't been a hitch of any kind since we came up here. Oh, the airs you gods and goddesses give yourselves are perfectly sickening. Why, it's mere child's play.
Pretty simple, innit?
Simple? Why, I could do it on my head.
Oh, I dare say you will do it on your head very soon.
What do you mean by that, Mercury?
I mean that when you've turned the world quite topsy-turvy, you won't know whether you're standing on your head or on your heels.
Well, but, Mercury, it's all right at present.
Oh, yes, as far as we know.
Well, but, we know as much as anybody knows, I believe the world's still going on.
Yes, as far as we can judge, much as usual.
Well, then, give the father of the gods his due, Mercury. Don't be envious of the father of the gods.
Well, but, you see, you leave so much to accident.
Well, Mercury, if I do, it's my principle. I'm an easy man, and I like to make things as pleasant as possible. What did I do the day we took office? I called the company together and I said to them, here we are, gods and goddesses, no mistake about it, the real thing. Well, we have certain duties to discharge, let's discharge them intelligently. Don't let us be hampered by routine and red tape and precedent. Let's set the original gods an example and put a liberal interpretation on our duties. If it occurs to anyone to try an experiment in his own department, let him try it. If he fails, there's no harm done. If he succeeds, it is a distinct gain to society. Take it easy, I said. And at the same time, make experiments. Don't hurry your work. Do it slowly. Do it well. And here we are after a 12-month, and Not a single complaint or a single petition has reached me.
No, not yet.
What do you mean by no, not yet?
Well, you see, you don't understand these things. All petitions that are addressed by men to Jupiter pass through my hands. It's my duty to collect them and present them once a year.
Oh, only once a year?
Only once a year.
And the year is up?
Today.
Oh, then I suppose there are some complaints.
Yes, there are some.
Oh, perhaps there are a good many?
There are a good many.
Oh, perhaps there are a thundering lot.
There are a thundering lot.
Oh.
You see, you've been taking it so very easy, and so have most of your company.
Oh? Who has been taking it easy?
Well, all except those who've been trying experiments.
Oh, but I suppose the experiments are ingenious.
Yes, they are ingenious, but on the whole, ill-judged. But it's time to go and summon your court.
What for?
To hear the complaints. In 5 minutes they will be here.
I don't know how it is, but there is something in that young man's manner that suggests that the father of the gods has been taking it too easy. Perhaps it would have been better if I hadn't given my company so much scope. I wonder what they've been doing. I think I will curtail their discretion, though none of them appear to have much of the article. It seems a pity to deprive them of what little they have. Now then, Daphne, what's the matter with you?
Well, you know how disgracefully Sparky and
Apollo?
Apollo, then, has treated me. He promised to marry me years ago, and now he's married to Nicemis.
Now look here. I can't go into that. You're in Olympus now and must behave accordingly. Drop your Daphne. Assume you're Calliope.
Quite so. That's it.
Oh? That is it.
That is it, Thespis. I am Calliope, the muse of fame. Very good. This morning I was in the Olympian Library, and I took down the only book there. Here it is.
Lemprière's Classical Dictionary. The Olympian Peerage.
Open it at Apollo.
It is done.
Read.
Apollo was several times married, among others to Issa, Paulina, Coronis, Crimene, Cyrene, Chione, Acasaris, and Calliope.
And Calliope.
Ah, I didn't know he was married to them.
Sir, this is the family edition.
Ah, quite so.
You couldn't expect a lady to read any other.
On no consideration. But in the original...
I go by the family edition.
Then, by the family edition, Apollo is your husband.
Apollo, your husband? He is my husband.
I beg your pardon. He is my husband.
Apollo is Sparchian, and he's married to me.
Sparchian is Apollo, and he's married to me.
He's my husband.
He's your brother.
Look here, Apollo. Whose husband are you? Don't let's have any row about it. Whose husband are you?
Upon my honour, I don't know. I'm in a very delicate position, but I'll fall in with any arrangement Thespis may propose. I've just found out that he's my husband, and yet he goes out every night with that thing.
Perhaps he's trying an experiment.
I don't like my husband to make such experiments. The question is, who are we all, and what is our relation to each other? You're Diana, I'm Apollo, and Calliope is she. He's your brother.
You're another. He has fairly married me.
By the rules of this fair spot, I'm his wife and you are not. By the rules of this fair spot, she's my wife and you are not.
By this golden wedding ring, I'm his wife and you're a thing. By this golden wedding ring, I'm his wife and you're a thing. Please will someone kindly tell us who are respected kin? All of us are very jealous. Neither of us will give in. He's my husband, I declare. I espoused him properly.
That is true, for I was there, and I saw her marry me. He's your brother, I'm his wife. If we go by Lempriere, so she is, upon my life. Really, that seems very fair.
You're my husband and no other.
That is true enough, I swear. I'm his wife, and you're her brother. If we go by Lempriere,
it will surely be unfair to decide by Lempriere.
It will surely be quite fair to decide by Lempriere. How you settle, I don't care. Leave it all to Lempriere.
The verdict. As Sparkeon is Apollo up in this Olympian climb, why, nice miss, it will follow he's her husband for the time. When Sparkeon turns to mortal, joins once more the sons of men, he may take you to his portal. He'll be your husband then. That is my decision. According to my mental vision, put an end to all collision. That is my decision. My decision. My decision. That
is his decision.
According to his mental vision, put an end to all collision. That is my decision. My decision. My decision.
O rage and fury, O shame and sorrow, we'll be resuming our ranks tomorrow. Since from Olympus we have departed, we've been distracted and broken-hearted. O wicked Thespis, O villain scurvy, through him Olympus is topsy-turvy. Compelled to silence the grim merit, he's caused our sorrow, and he must share it. Where is the monster? Avenge his blunders! He has awakened Olympian thunders! O monster! O monster! O monster!
Please, sir, what have I done, sir?
What did we leave you behind for?
Please, sir, that's a question I asked when you went away.
Was it not that Thespis might consult you whenever he was in a difficulty?
Well, here I've been, ready to be consulted, chock full of reliable information, running over with celestial maxims, advice gratis 10 to 4, after 12 ring a night bell in cases of emergency.
And hasn't he consulted you?
Not he. He disagrees with me about everything.
He must have misunderstood me. I told him to consult you whenever he was in a fix.
He must have thought you said insult. Well, whenever I open my mouth, he jumps down my throat. It isn't pleasant to have a fellow constantly jumping down your throat, especially when he always disagrees with you. It's the sort of thing I can't digest.
Send him here, and I'll talk to him. Oh, monster! Oh, monster! Oh, monster! Oh, how do you do? Well, sir, the year is up today, and a nice mess you've made of it. You've deranged the whole scheme of society. There's going to be a row. My dear boy, I do assure you... Be respectful. Be respectful. Be respectful. I don't know what you allude to. With the exception of getting our scene painter to run up this temple, because we found the ruins drafty, we haven't touched a thing. Why, with the exception of the COVID pandemic, which could run and run, everything is... absolutely normal. Oh, storyteller! Oh, storyteller! Oh, storyteller! My dear fellows, you're distressing yourselves unnecessarily. The court of Olympus is about to assemble to listen to the complaints of the year, if any. But there are none, or next to none. Let the Olympians assemble. Ladies and gentlemen, it seems that it is usual for the gods to assemble once a year to listen to mortal petitions. It doesn't seem to me to be a good plan, as work is liable to accumulate. But, as I'm particularly anxious not to interfere with Olympian precedent, but to allow everything to go on as it has always been accustomed to, well, we'll say no more about it. But how shall I account for your presence? Say we are gentlemen of the press. That all our proceedings may be open and above board, I have communicated with the most influential members of the Athenian press, and I beg to introduce to your notice 3 of its most distinguished members. They bear marks emblematic of the anonymous character of modern journalism. Now then, if you're all ready, we will begin.
Here's the agenda.
What's that? The
Petitions?
Some of them. Oh, I thought there'd be a row about it.
Why, what's wrong now?
Why, it's been a foggy Friday in November for the last 6 months, and the Athenians are tired of it.
There's no pleasing some people. This craving for perpetual change is a curse of the country. Friday's a very nice day.
So it is. But Friday's 6 months long. It gets monotonous.
It's perfectly ridiculous.
It shall be arranged. Simon,
Sir,
allow me, Father Time. Rather young at present, but even time must have a beginning. In course of time, time will grow older. Now then, Father Time, what's this about a wet Friday in November for the last 6 months?
Well, the fact is, I've been trying an experiment. 7 days in the week is an awkward number. It can't be halved. 2's into 7 won't go.
Quite so. Quite so.
So, I abolished Saturday.
Oh, be quiet. He's a very intelligent young man and knows what he is about. So, you abolished Saturday. And how did you find it answer?
Admirably.
You hear? He found it answer admirably.
Yes, only Sunday refused to take its place.
Sunday refused to take its place?
Sunday comes after Saturday. Sunday won't go on duty after Friday. Sunday's principles are very strict. That's where my experiment sticks.
Well, but why November? Come, why November?
December can't begin till November has finished. November can't finish because I've abolished Saturday. There again, my experiment sticks.
Well, but why wet? Come on now, why wet?
Ah, that's your fault. You turned the rain on 6 months ago, and you forgot to turn it off again.
Oh, this is monstrous.
Order! Gentlemen, pray be seated. The liberty of the press. One can't help it. It is easily settled. Athens has had a wet Friday in November for the last 6 months. Let them have a blazing Tuesday in July for the next 12. Order! Now then, the next article.
Here's a petition from the Peace Society. They complain that there are no more battles.
What? Quiet there. Good dog, sir. Timidon. Here? What's this about there being no battles? I've abolished battles. It's an experiment.
Oh, come on, I say.
Quiet there. Abolished battles? Yes. You told us on taking office to remember 2 things. To try experiments and to take it easy. I found I couldn't take it easy. There were any battles to attend to. So I tried the experiment and abolished battles. And then I took it easy. The Peace Society, you ought to be very much obliged to me.
Obliged to you? Why, confound it, since battles have been abolished, war is universal.
War? Universal?
To be sure it is. Now that nations can't fight, no 2 of them are on speaking terms. The dread of fighting was the only thing that kept them civil to each other.
Let battles be restored, and peace reign supreme.
Here's a petition from the Associated Wine Merchants of Mytilene.
Well, what's wrong with the Associated Wine Merchants of Mytilene? There no grapes this year?
Plenty of grapes, more than usual.
You observe, there is no deception. There are more than usual.
There are plenty of grapes, only They're full of ginger beer.
What? Bacchus? There seems to be something unusual with the grapes of Mytilene. They only grow ginger beer.
And a very good thing, too.
It's all very well in its way, but it is not what one looks for from grapes.
Beloved master, a week before we came up here, you insisted on my taking the pledge. By so doing, you rescued me from my otherwise inevitable misery. I cannot express my thanks. Embrace me.
Get out! Don't be a fool. Look here. You know, you're the god of wine.
I am.
Well, do you consider it consistent with your duty as the god of wine to make the grapes yield nothing but ginger beer?
You consider it consistent with my duty as a total abstainer to grow anything stronger than ginger beer.
But your duty as the god of wine.
In every respect in which my duty as the god of wine can be discharged consistently with my duty as a total abstainer, I will discharge it. But when their functions clash, everything must give way to the pledge, my preserver.
Don't be a confounded fool. This can be arranged. We can't give over the wine this year, but at least we can improve the ginger beer. Let all the ginger be extracted from it immediately.
I'm afraid that's going to be rather difficult, as a harvest will take some time. You see, Deputy Ceres has caused all the crops to grow topsy-turvy, and the grapes will have to be dug out like potatoes.
Oh, no.
Do you want any more? Here's the next article. Deputy Venus has caused all the babies to be grown up. This wouldn't be so bad, but think of what it's doing to the birth rate.
It was an experiment.
We can't stand this. We can't stand this. It's much too strong. We can't stand this. It would be wrong, extremely wrong, if we stood this, if we stand this, if we stand this, we can't stand this.
Great show! This interference is more than we can stand. Of them make a clearance with your majestic hand.
This cool audacity, it beats us hollow. I'm Jupiter, I'm Mars, I'm Apollo.
Jupiter, Mars, and Apollo have quitted their dwellings of men. The other gods quickly will follow, and what will become of us then? O Parnus, Jove and Apollo, Parnus, Jupiter, Mars, O see us misery as they wallow, cursing our terrible stars. Let us remain, we beg of you pleadingly.
Let them remain, they beg of us pleadingly.
Life on Olympus suits us exceedingly.
Life on Olympus suits them exceedingly.
Let us remain, we pray in humility.
Let them remain, they pray in humility.
If we have shown some little ability, let us remain, we beg of you pleadingly.
Enough! Your reign is ended. Upon this sacred hill, let him be apprehended and learn our awful will. Away to earth, contemptible comedian, and hear our curse before we set you free. You shall all be eminent tragedians, whom no one ever goes to see.
Whom no one
Ever goes to see. Now here you see the arrant folly of doing your best to make things jolly. I've ruled the world like a chap in his senses. Observe the terrible consequences. Great Jupiter, whom nothing pleases, splutters and swears and kicks up breezes, and sends us home in a mood avenging, in double quick time like a railroad engine. And this he does without compunction, because I have discharge function, a highly complicated function, complying with his own injunction. Fol, lol, lay.
And this he does without compunction, because he has discharge function, a highly complicated function, complying with his own injunction. Fol, lol, lay.
Climbing over rocky mountains, skipping rivulet and fountain, passing where the willows quiver, passing where the willows quiver, passing where the willows quiver, by the ever-rolling river, swollen with the summer rain, the summer rain. Threading long and leafy mazes, dotted with unnumbered daisies, dotted with unnumbered daisies. Scaling rough and rugged passes, climb the hardy lads and lasses, hill on mountain top they gain. Scaling rough and rugged passes, climb the hardy lads and lasses, hill on mountain top they gain.
Fill the cup and tread the measure, make the most of fleeting leisure, hail it as a true ally, though it perish by and by.
Hail it as a true ally, though it perish by and by.
Every moment brings a treasure of its own especial pleasure, though the moments quickly die. Greet them gaily as they fly, greet them gaily as they fly.
Though the moments quickly die, greet them gaily as they fly.
Away from grief and care, high up in the mountain air, let us leave and reign alone in a world that's all around. Here enthroned in the sky, far away from mortal eye, will be gods and make decrees, theirs may honor them who please.
We'll be gods and make decrees, those may honor them who please. Fill the cups and tread the measure, make the most of